Hello and welcome to Nationwide, an abridged version of the network service of the NTA. I'm Ayo Deji. Makinde, thanks for joining us. We'll still be able to touch a bit of our lineup today from the Federal Capital Territory and different states, where our correspondents will give us news on major events. But first, let's begin with legislative matters, where the Nigerian Senate, concerning the ongoing amendments to the Electoral Act, is fundamental to restoring public trusts, reduce post-election disputes and empowerment of the election umpire to function without interference. The Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2022 today scaled second reading at the Senate as legislators across party divides express support to deployment of technology, setting clearer and stricter operational guidelines for political parties and imposing tougher penalties for election offences. The Senate is of the opinion that all elections must reflect the will of the people.
That whatever INEC does is perfect. So this time around, the INEC must be held responsible because they are the ones that have the electoral materials and they are the ones that are in charge of logistics and all. So we must give them some responsibilities in court to prove that, yes, indeed, their actions were legal and their actions were in tandem with the will of the people.
President Tinubu has, in the meantime, transmitted to the Senate lists of appointees for confirmation, among them a ministerial nominee, Dr. Bernard Mohammed. In another development, the House of Representatives has expressed concern over the alleged use of harmful chemicals as preservatives for frozen foods and other edible commodities in the country. Adopting a motion by Representative Chike Okafor, the House describes the trend as a major threat to public health and the well-being of millions of Nigerians. The House Committees on Nutrition and Food Security, NAFDAC, Healthcare Services, as well as safety standards and regulations were given a 4-week deadline to investigate the public health concern and make recommendations.
Recent reports and allegations on the use of dangerous chemicals such as formalin, sniper, kerosene, and other harmful preservatives in frozen foods and other consumable items. Worried that these chemicals are often used to extend the shelf life of food products, which can be harmful for consumption, cancerous, and damage organs. NAFDAC, the Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON, and the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, saddled with the responsibility of ensuring food safety, have been alleged to exhibit complicity and negligence.
Meanwhile, lawmakers expressed grief over the recent tanker explosion in Essa village in Niger State, which claimed many lives and left others injured, while calling for rehabilitation of the Bida-Diko Expressway to forestall road accidents.
Contractors to commence full rehabilitation, expansion and completion of the Bida-Agay-Lapay-Lambatediko Road, especially the sections between Bida and Agay. Mandate the Federal Road Safety Corps and relevant agencies to intensify enforcement of safety standards for tanker and heavy-duty operations, ensuring compliance with roadworthiness, loading procedures, and emergency response protocols.
Now, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has announced suspension of the 2 weeks warning strike declared 13th October 2025. Addressing the media, ASU President Chris Pewuna said the decision followed the swift interventions by chairmen of Senate Committees on Tertiary Education and TED Fund, Labour and Deputy Senate President Barrow Jibrin. Pewuna said NEC of the union resolved to suspend the strike to reciprocate the support of Nigerians. However, a 1-month window is given to government to conclude the ongoing renegotiation of the 2009 Federal Government of Nigeria ASU outstanding issues.
While noting that a lot more work is still required, NEC came to the conclusion that the objective of the warning strike had been partly achieved. NEC hopes that the government will take advantage of this opportunity to seamlessly resolve all the issues in order to guarantee industrial harmony and ensure stability of our academic calendar. Should government fail to resolve the issues within the 1 month window, ASU reserves the right to resume the strike without further notice at all.
The union appeals to patriotic Nigerians and key players in education to prevail on governments to speedily conclude the renegotiation of the 2009 agreement and other outstanding issues. The leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has listed former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, among 23 witnesses he plans to call in his defense before the Federal High Court, Abuja. In a fresh motion filed before Justice James Omotosho, Kanu expressed readiness to open his defense and requested 90 days to conclude, given the number of witnesses. Meanwhile, the magistrate court in Abuja has ordered the remand of Kanu's lawyer, Aloy Ejimako, and 12 others arrested during a protest against Kanu's continued detention. They were charged with offenses including criminal conspiracy and disturbance of public peace and are to be arraigned on October 24 at the Kuje Correctional Center. In the meantime, a federal high court in Abuja has rejected a fresh bail application filed by detained alleged terrorist negotiator Tukuru Muhammad Mamu. Justice Muhammad Umar ruled that Mamu should remain in the custody of the Department of State Services, but directed that he be taken to a medical facility of his lawyer's choice, if necessary. The judge held that the DSS has been diligent in handling the case, adding that bail is only granted when the prosecution is found wanting in diligence. He also ordered the DSS to allow Mamu access to his family. Mamu is accused of acting as a negotiator for terrorists involved in the Abuja-Kaduna train attack, allegedly collecting and delivering ransom payments on their behalf. Let's go over to our Lagos Network Center, where the next set of reports will be served by Adeola.
Thank you once again, Your Excellency.
Lagos Network Center, but surely we'll reconnect with her in the course of this bulletin. Let's continue the news here in Abuja, where as part of activities celebrating its 80th anniversary, the United Nations, the Nigerian country team, opens to the public an exhibition inviting Nigerians to see for themselves how the global institution is working closely with Nigeria to achieve sustainable development goals. Garba Nata'ala was there and now filed in these reports.
Here at the exhibition hall of Arts and Culture Museum in Abuja, the atmosphere is one that echoes UN's intervention for the past 8 decades, from vaccinations against diseases, education of the girl child, and humanitarian assistance in some parts of the country.
It was formed so that there will be no Third World War. The fact that there has not been Third World War after 80 years is a big achievement. There are diseases that have been eradicated from parts of the world because the United Nations has worked with member states. We have improved infant mortality through vaccination of children. Children now live longer. In the past, children below 5 years would die because of the diseases that are preventable. So the United Nations has done a lot. However, there have also been challenges. You still hear of wars in various places of the world.
The exhibition is also a testament of the enduring partnership with Nigeria, being a signatory to the UN Charter since 1960. Students from different schools were inspired, saying they had no idea what the UN does
until recently.
Like the WIPO, which is the World Intellectual Property Organization, their work is to fight for people, especially young children, who use their creativity to make good things, like write novels, sing songs, and other things.
The exhibition remains open for a week, tagging this year's theme as Building the Future Together for the commemoration, which serves as a reminder for more work to be done to address food security, economic diversification, and peaceful resolution of conflicts. In Abuja, Garba Muhammad Atala, NTA News.
And Adiola in our Lagos Center is ready to take it up from here.
Thank you, Ayadeji, for joining us again in Lagos. The need to intensify awareness on preventive measures against fire incidents in Lagos as the dry season creeps in is becoming important, with the latest fire incident at Olojo area in Alaba International Market, Ojo, Lagos, where the second floor of a two-story building was gutted by fire, destroying a furniture store and a law firm. Larry Belei was at the scene of the incident for a situation report.
Started at the close of business. Eyewitnesses say it took concerted effort of traders, fire service officials and security agents to contain the fire in the early hours of Wednesday. The fire destroyed everything in both shops, leaving only charred and smoky remains. Fortunately, no fatalities were recorded, and as at the time of this report, investigation into the cause of the fire was still ongoing.
The cost is enormous. If you move in there, right inside the office or the other office, you see burnt documents you cannot retrieve.
Okay, when I came over, I saw that there were fire service, but the first set that came around could not do something. They were hooked up on the way. But when the second set came out of their experience, after the mud bad road they encountered from first start coming here, they were the one that actually went upstairs to point the fire that were able to quench the fire.
Traders in the market appealed for the rehabilitation of the bad portion of the road leading to the market, as it is always an impediment to swift response to emergency cases.
The road here is so bad, you can see the pothole hold up everywhere. So because of the bad road, the fire service couldn't reach on time to quench the fire. So the fire gone to the extent of burning people's goods. People lost millions at the cost of the fire.
In our own association in Alaba here, our chairman have made us to, know the importance of, being a fire consciousness in this market. We have a small ball, a fire ball, which it was made mandated that every shop must have it. If everybody will have that little fire ball will be easier way to quench the fire.
This place you're looking at used to be a warehouse for expensive furniture, imported, made in Nigeria. And you can see for yourself, it's all gone to fire. In Lagos, Larry Belei, NTA News.
So sad. We're done with our contribution from Lagos. It's now back to Ayadeji in Abuja for continuation of Nationwide. Ayo, back to you.
Thanks so much, Adiola. The All Progressives Congress, APC, says the gains of the bold reforms by the current administration of President Bola Tinubu have continued to attract opposition members to the party. This is coming as the party received Chairman Senate Committee on Public Accounts, Senator Ahmed Aliyu Wadada, who defected from the Social Democratic Party SDP, along with hundreds of supporters to APC. Correspondent Aliyu Tijani reports.
All Progressives Congress, APC, as the new bride owing to influx of opposition party members into the party. The National State chapter of the party gets a boost as Senator Ahmed Aliyu Wadada returns back to the party. Governor Abdullahi Sule says the performance of the present administration of President Bola Tinubu has continued to receive commendations, hence the wave of defection hitting the opposition parties.
Specifically at this moment, congratulate our President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It is because of the good reforms he is bringing in, and courageous one for that matter, that today, every every time the progressive governors go to a meeting, we're welcoming another governor into our party. I have returned to my home, the home that I have labored for, the home that I serve.
Meanwhile, Senator Wadada donates 18 vehicles to be distributed, one each, to APC across the 13 local government areas and 3 zonal offices, as well as one each for women and youth groups. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu has approved the extension of the tenure of the Surveyor General of the Federation, Abdulganiyu Adebomehin, by 2 years. The extension, which takes effect from January 5, 2026, was necessitated by the recent transfer of the office of the Surveyor General of the Federation to the presidency. The president expects Mr. Adebomehin to consolidate the reforms within the next 2 years, focusing on national land management and administration, highways and abutting land infrastructure coordination, reclamation and erosion control programs, and other related matters of strategic national importance. The Defense Headquarters is strengthening awareness and support systems for mental health, aimed at keeping troops psychologically fit to face the realities of modern warfare. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that this was the focus of a mental health symposium held in Abuja to commemorate the 2025 International Day on Mental Health.
Troops serving in various theaters of operations across the country are often exposed to psychological strain, trauma, and fatigue, which could have long-term impacts on their mental well-being.
Ensuring access to mental health support for service members.
The symposium brought together mental health experts, military medical experts, and other stakeholders to examine the psychological challenges confronting personnel at the front lines. Experts emphasize that mental health is a critical component of combat readiness, enhancing the ability of troops to make rapid life-saving decisions under intense pressure.
A mentally healthy force is an effective, resilient, and a mission-ready force.
The Defense Headquarters recognizes that the strength of a force is not only measured by its firepower, but also by the mental and emotional stability of its troops.
Putting structures in place that will help preserve the mental health of the military, promote the mental health of the military, prevent them from having mental health problems, and those who have, they must have readily accessible mental health interventions.
They noted that prioritizing mental health awareness as part of routine military welfare program will not only strengthen resilience, but also improve operational performance and mission success. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Now from Abuja, let's cross over to the northeast, our Maiduguri Network Center. And Wadiam has the next report.
And welcome to Maiduguri. The Federal Ministry of Environment, in collaboration with Borno State Ministry of Environment, has launched a presidential initiative focused on climate change mitigation and the adoption of alternative energy solutions. The event marked the official provision and distribution of clean cooking stoves developed using local technology. Pauline Kujevana has details.
Critical role of trees in environmental protection cannot be overemphasized in addressing deforestation and related challenges. Hence, this initiative, targeting 100 beneficiaries from each of the 27 local government areas of Borno State. Beneficiaries received hands-on training on how to use the alternative energy stoves and how to produce briquettes from agricultural waste, such as burnt chaff, an eco-friendly substitute from charcoal derived from firewood.
Thank you very much, I'm glad that I get this one. Next time I will not suffer for the firewood.
We thank them very much for giving us. And Kuma, we are very happy. We are very grateful.
The President Tinubu, the Zulum professor, Zulum
Representing Secretary to the State Government, Commissioner for Environment Habib Mohammed, alongside the Permanent Secretary Juliana Bitrus, reiterated State Government's commitment to environmental sustainability.
This alternative energy stock is a clear testament to our collective commitment to addressing the present challenges of our time by harnessing the power of energy sources.
It reduces the amount of smoke that also affects us medically.
Director, Federal Ministry of Environment, Yakaka Alkali, and partners expressed satisfaction with Borno State's alignment with the National Environmental Policy and pledged to monitor safe usage, encouraging beneficiaries to extend the knowledge gained to others in their communities.
With this very laudable initiative, I think it will go a long way in reducing the climate change issue, because climate change is real.
The launch of the Clean Cooking Stoves initiative in Borno State will undoubtedly advance environmental sustainability, curb deforestation, and encourage the adaptation of cleaner and safer energy alternatives. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
And that is our contribution from Maiduguri. It is now back to Ayodeji in Abuja.
We appreciate you for your contribution, Wadiam, in our Maiduguri Network Center. The presidential aide to President Bola Tinubu on special needs and equal opportunities, Mohammed Abba Issa, says there is a growing need to continue to empower persons with disabilities, enable them to actively participate in their communities, and equip them with skills that will help them cater to their unique needs. He stated this during the inauguration of the Committee for 2025 First National Conference of Persons with Disabilities in Nigeria. The conference is expected to set a new benchmark for disability inclusion in the country, with initiatives such as National Accessibility Framework and inclusive recruitment practices already underway.
The conference aligns squarely with the mandate given to me by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR to create avenue for the inclusion of disability requirement and perspective in all aspects of national development.
Every child with disability have right to inclusive education.
We need to support each and every one of us to make sure that we rescue our people in so many areas, health and even skills acquisition.
National Association of Persons with Disabilities, to ensure that whatever thing you have in your office to impact positively on the lives of our people.
The Senior Special Assistant to the President tasked the committee to promote inclusion and equal opportunities for persons with disabilities across the country. The Jigawa State government has inaugurated an 18-member technical committee for the domestication of the new national tax reforms. Muhammad Musa Askira reports that the initiative is aimed at preparing the state for the smooth implementation of the federal tax policy framework.
The Commissioner for Finance, Professor Hannatu Sabo, will serve as the chairperson of the technical committee. The committee's terms of reference include studying the national tax reform framework, identifying and recommending areas suitable for domestication at the state level, and developing a practicable implementation strategy and roadmap. The committee has been given 2 weeks to complete its study and is expected to commence implementation of its recommendations within 2 months.
We cannot afford to lag behind in preparing Jigawa State for the January 2026 take-off of this reform. I therefore charge you to approach your assignment with professionalism and patriotism.
This is a very proactive stage, and this actually presents Jigawa State as a model for implementing national fiscal reform.
Experts say that while the new tax reforms may initially reduce revenue collection at the subnational levels, stronger collaboration and synergy between federal and state governments will help cushion any potential impacts.
It promotes presumptive tax, where there is paucity of records. There is a section dedicated for presumptive taxation, which will simplify the process for many businesses.
The government says the domestication process will strengthen its fiscal base. Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
And from Jigawa State, let's cross over to the food basket of the nation, where Susan in our Makudi Network Center takes it up from here.
You join us in Makudi. In a bid to protect the health and future of its children, Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia has launched an integrated immunization campaign against measles, rubella, human papillomavirus, HPV, polio, and other diseases. The campaign, which targets over 2 million children in the state, aims to eliminate preventable diseases and ensure a healthier future for the Benue child. Simbiat Agbaji has more.
Measles and rubella are highly contagious diseases, with measles being more severe. Rubella can cause congenital defects in unborn babies if contracted during pregnancy. Nigeria has the second highest measles burden globally. To combat this, Benue State has launched an immunization campaign against measles, rubella, and other diseases, aiming to reduce cases and protect children. The campaign is part of a global strategy to close immunity gaps and reduce measles cases to 1 per million by 2030. Benue State Governor, represented by his deputy Sam Ode at the state flag off, announced the state government's release of the mandatory counterpart funds for effective roundoff of the national measles rubella campaign.
The state government is also supporting the logistics for hard-to-reach communities to be easily accessed and also for effective supervision. I urge all parents and guardians to bring their children out for vaccination.
The Commissioner for Health and Human Services, Dr. Uguche Paul, emphasized that the immunization campaign aims to save the lives of Benue children by protecting them from preventable diseases.
Our goal here is simple, that no child should be left behind. This campaign is part of a broader effort to strengthen routine immunization and primary health care delivery across the state.
We are targeting a population of 2.6 million children in Benue State, and we have received sufficient vaccines to cover this population.
The nationwide immunization campaign targets over 106 million people, with Benue State participating in the Phase 1 Stream 2. The vaccination exercise will run for 10 days, with a 2-day mop-up period to cover more areas. In Makudi, Simbiat Agbaji, NTA News.
And that does it from Makudi. It's back to Ayodeji in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thanks so much, Susan. As part of activities commemorating the 2025 International Day of Older Persons, senior citizens in Nigeria are advocating implementable policies by government and all critical actors in geriatric care to promote inclusion and productivity. Elizabeth Omori reports.
Population age 65 and above, projections indicate an increase of 4.0% by 2050. These projections, older adults in Nigeria believe, will prove the facts when government, families, and society understand aging as a national concern. As some of them manage arthritis, hypertension, diabetes, and financial instability, they are determined to make their voices heard.
Hunger is one of the things, apart from lack of care.
They are the people who have done something good for Nigeria to lift her off, and they are supposed to do good something for them.
MDs and CSOs at this forum are of the view that isolation and out-of-pocket payment for medical services make aging a burden for some.
We call for social protection measures that will put a few naira into the hands of older persons and support those who have no regular income.
We are working with state governments to domesticate the National Senior Citizen Act so that these benefits can reach every community.
They say impactful social interventions are crucial to make life comfortable.
Quick trip to Port Harcourt Network Center, where Diba Barry is next.
Rivers State government is taking steps to relocate the waste dump site located along the Obrigkwere Airport Road, Port Harcourt, in order to address the growing public health concerns within the area. Governor Siminalayi Fubara disclosed this after inspecting the proposed new waste dump site in Igruta. Casey Amaji reports.
The refuse dump along Obrigkwere Airport Road has remained a public health concern amidst rising calls for government action to address the perceived negative impression the site of stinking refuse heaps create in the minds of visitors arriving into the city. Governor Fubara, while on inspection of the proposed alternative site, said the location is being assessed as a potential permanent dump site for the state. The governor, who was conducted around the site by the leadership of Riwama, expressed concern about the environmental health challenges posed by the existing site located along a major entry point into the state.
The kind of environmental hazards that we're facing there, the smell on that, and being the entrance into the state, we felt it's not proper. So we're making alternative arrangements to that so that we can have a permanent place where we can start dropping our refuse. What we did here is there's something going on before I came in, and you know it is also proper. Whichever one that is done rightly, you continue with it.
The state government, he noted, would move swiftly to formalize the acquisition of the land and also complete construction work on the access road to make the new site functional. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajori, NTA News.
And that does it from Port Harcourt. Is back to Ayodeji for the rest of the news.
And with that contribution from our Port Harcourt Network Center, we round off Nationwide. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. Thanks for your time. Do enjoy the rest of our broadcast. Good evening.